Well, you voted. I'm not playing Star Wars Survivor. By a margin of 3 votes, I have been sealed away inside this dank, dark mausoleum, destined to play this ghoulish new indie title. Have a nice day. Democracy. Playing as the titular force of nature, your office of the afterlife has been taken over by a cavalcade of chaotic and unhelpful beings known as sorrows. Now, your job has been upgraded from paperwork to slashing your way across procedurally generated levels in order to find and slay each of these dark and hazy department heads. Roguelikes have been on the up and up and up and up and up and up, as of late, displaying a unique range of formats and changes to the gameplay loop. Have a Nice Death is no different as you battle your way through the departments of the afterlife. If you get ganked, it's all the way back to the beginning, but you're not going without help. Every enemy has the chance to drop a variety of helpful buffs ranging from magic spells, new weapons, or flat bonuses for your character. Once you've faced off against enough of these incorporeal employees, your special attack meter will be fully charged, allowing you to unleash a unique and powerful attack that changes based on what you have equipped. Some of these are powerful, some of them just aren't at all, really. They don't work. Have a Nice Death's gameplay loop is a bit less tangible than other roguelikes, and so is its direction. Killing the final boss of a department gives you a key to a special elevator that takes you straight to their floor. If you die after that, you can use it at the very start of the level to take you straight there with just the weapons you've got in your inventory, as well as 1 or 2 bonuses that they give you along the way. So while this is helpful, it allows you to bypass the level you just completed. In the combat, it feels like the abilities of the average player have been largely underestimated, given that 90% of enemies act as mobile meat sacks. Even the larger, more powerful foes are easily avoidable and can be dealt with in a number of slashes. That is until you reach the bosses. These enemies deal massive amounts of damage, can be difficult to telegraph, and put up a considerable fight, detaching them from the minions that paved the way to their office that were, you shat on them pretty much. Also, I died a couple of times on the first boss and was having a bit of difficulty. Then I managed to get my hands on what I can only assume was a legendary spell, considering that it was orange. With my special attack meter fully charged, I walked in and unleashed a meteor swarm and took out nearly his entire health bar. So that was fun. As for the bonuses you find along your journey, most of these fall into 2 categories: must picks or useless. Quite a few of these power-ups offer such an incremental increase to your damage or health that you might as well ignore them outright. Combine that with the fact that you're playing a game where the average time you spend with a certain build is around 30 minutes, some of these might as well not even exist. But I can't speak about this game without addressing the art style and the music. Have a Nice Death is beautiful to look at and enchanting to listen to. The art here looks hand-painted. It's sharp, satisfying, and buttery smooth. Its vivid style makes it gorgeous and unique while still presenting itself with ease, allowing the player to appreciate its art while carving up a sucker. The spells are hard to look away from, as their bubbly yet dark effects take over the screen in either an array of color or a deep and twisted darkness. The darkness is an important aspect and a heavy one. While blood, sex, and explosions are the staple of mature games, Have a Nice Death really steps up to the plate with the department stylized to themes of addiction, war, and suicide. We've definitely seen these represented before, but the flippant way in which they're embedded into the game definitely achieves an uncomfortable familiarity. One of the game's biggest problems lies in its construction. The levels you fight through are procedurally generated. Some areas are long and winding with nothing in them, others are stacked on top of each other with a band of enemies inside. Instead of feeling like a world inspired by the chaotic nature of this afterlife, it comes across as flat and robotic, as it lacks the human touch that makes 2D platformers so vibrant. Have a Nice Death uses an avenue of design that I find a bit curious and disappointing. Admittedly, Have a Nice Death is different due to its 2-dimensional nature, but the terrain itself being beholden to RNG is a huge detriment. Instead of feeling like a twisting labyrinth of hallways that lead you to the boss room, it feels like a mishmash of assets at worst, and a rudimentary attempt at level design at best. I would say this is my biggest gripe with a game, as it can often pull you out of the experience and leave you feeling disconnected. There's a lot to explore here, with a large cast of characters, each making different demands of death, and a collection of interesting abilities to utilize in grandiose fashion. But while Have a Nice Death can get going when it wants to, that doesn't happen often. While I started this game with excitement, I've left feeling dissatisfied as it ultimately fails to live up to its own concept in all the ways that matter. Whether that's difficulty scaling, the rewards you get being interesting, or just cheap level design. I do like the pumpkin though. That's a big pumpkin.